Hi guys, how have you guys been doing? I'm doing very good today. Today I'm revealing the movie Coraline from 2009. This movie was directed by Tim Burton. He actually directed one of the movies I reviewed a long time ago, which was Miss Peregrine's House for Peculiar Children. It's a 2009 animated film from Lakeia. And it takes place in Pink Palace. Film stars Dakota Fanning as Coraline Jones. So I recognize this actor in both of the Maleficent movies. Yeah, I recognized her in. As it stars Henry Selick. Henry Selick is also the person who made this movie. It was Terry Hatcher's The Mother and the Other Mother. Jennifer Saunders as Miss Spink and Other Miss Spink. Ian McShane as Mr. Babinski. And Don French. It was Keith David. Oh, and he was in The Princess and the Frog, and he plays Dr. Vasilier. This movie plays the cat. Oh. That's it's John Hodgman as Charlie Jones. It stars Robert Bailey Jr. as Webby Love, and it stars John Leno as other father. And so now let's get into the plot of the movie without getting further too much away. The movie begins in this room where this person is making a doll. Let me actually show you it. Yes, this is the doll that the person made from the beginning of the movie. And it comes to me, Coraline Jones. And then she moves into the Pink Palace. Yeah, the Pink Palace. Oh yeah, there was this guy standing there at the building. And these neighbors had knew they were moving in. She heads into the woods where she meets this cat. Yeah, well, the cat I'm gonna reveal, it speaks in the other world and not this world. Oh. And she also meets Wybie Lovat, a boy who says that her grandmother won't run it with kids. And then he leaves and the Coraline heads back in the house. Oh. Okay. I meet the mom and she's working on a laptop. just working on a computer. And her mom gets her the doll. It's the same one that was made from the beginning of the movie. And then it would come to be the father, and he's working on the laptop as well. So her parents are just busy working. And then she finds this door. Yeah, she finds it. Man. Okay. Okay. And then Coraline is having dinner with her parents. And then she has to sleep. And then the door that she found opens, and then there is these mice. These mice. And Coraline finds them and she heads into the other world. And she meets her other mother. And her other father. Okay. And its utter father. And then she has dinner with them, and then she has to sleep. And then she wakes back in her own room. And then now she sees the door's been all bricked up again. And then she has breakfast for her parents, and she tries to tell them about her dream. Of course, they don't believe her. And then she goes to meet Mr. Babinski, who tells her that the mice have given her a warning, is do not go for little Dory. And then she goes to meet Miss Spink and Miss Forcible, where they read her future, saying that she's in terrible danger. Oh. And then Coraline finds a hat. Yeah, this is the hat. And then YB meets up with her again and tells her about his grandma's missing sister. He said when they were kids, his grandmother's sister went missing. And then he leaves. And then Coraline heads back to the other world again. Where she sees the garden the other father had been hanging out. And then she had dinner with them again. And then she meets the other YB. And to head to the circus. Okay. And to meet the other Babinski. and then she heads to sleep. And then she wakes up in her own room again, but this time the door's been closed. They head to a store where Coraline tries to buy some gloves, but her mom won't let her. So then they head back home. Their mom goes out for shopping while Coraline finds the key and she opens the door again and she heads back to the other world. But this time the cat appears and tries to warn Coraline that the other world is a very terrible place and that the other mother, she hates cats and tries to keep her out. And he knows all this because the other YB had told him so. So Coraline doesn't believe him. And she heads to a show. And then she meets the other Miss Spink and Miss Forcible. And other YB's there and they watch their show. And Coraline meets up with her other parents. And then they head back home. So they say that she can live here forever. But there's one thing they need to do. Oh, okay, Parker. And it's the buds and eyes. But Coraline refuses to wear them. Refuses, and then she heads to her room and tries to go to sleep. But this time, she's still there. And then she talks to the other father. But the other father instantly reveals his horrifying face. And she has to decide where she meets up with the cat again. And the cat tells her that the other mother only made what would impress her. That she loves something to eat. And then Coraline talks to the other mother and tries to make her to leave, but she refuses, so she traps her in the mirror. And then she comes to meet the ghost children, who explain that the other mother is actually the Beldam. She's actually a monster called the Beldam. And that she's trapped them there for such a long time. And then Coraline risks her freedom. Then the other YB comes to save her. And then he helps her escape while he stays in another world while Coraline heads back home. But she discovers that her parents have gone missing. So YB appears, and then Coraline tells him about the other world, but of course he doesn't believe her. So Coraline also figures out that YB had stolen the doll that he found, that he gave to her. As Coraline gets a call from her parents, but she notices how they're gone. So she goes to Miss Spink and Miss Forceball, and they give her a triangle piece, which they give her for bad things sometimes, or lost things. Like Coraline has to sleep because she's sad because her parents aren't there. Then the next morning, the cat appears and tells her that the Beldam had kidnapped her real parents. So she heads back to the other world. And then she confronts the other mother and makes her a deal with her, the challenger, that If she wins the game, she will let her go. But if she loses, she has to stay there forever. And then Coraline fights the other father in the garden, and then the father's gone, and then he gives her one of the pieces. And then and Coraline has a show, and she takes the eye from the other Spank and Miss Forcible. And then Coraline has the carnival. She takes the ball from the other Babinski, and the mice were attacking. And then the whole other world begins falling apart. Like it begins tearing apart. And Coraline and the cat head inside. And then once they head inside, they come face to face with the other mother, aka the Beldam. So Coraline tricks her into thinking that the parents are there in the door. So she finds them in the globe. And then Coraline throws the cat at her, and then the cat cuts her eyes off. And then she tries to capture her to stay in the other world forever, but she is able to escape, and the ghost children attack her. And she closes the door, and then she heads back to her home. And her parents arrive, but they don't remember what happened. And so she reunites with her parents, and then later they're hanging out. And Coraline has the dream with the ghost children. And then and the Coraline realizes that she has to hide the key so that the other mother won't find it. So she heads to the well, and then the hand of the Beldam comes to attack her. And Wybie comes and saves her, and they crush the hand. And then they throw it down the well. Wybie apologizes for not believing her. And Wybie gives her a picture of the photo of his grandma with his missing sister. Of her missing sister. And then the next day, they're all having a garden catalog, and everyone in the neighborhood is hanging out. Then Wybie comes with his grandmother. This is the grandmother to Wybie. So they'll hang out in the garden catalog, and so that's the end of the movie. So now let's get into the movie review of Coraline from 2009. So I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's really good. I thought the characters are really nice. I thought the story is very amazing. I thought all the antagonists in the movie are really cool. There's the other mother, the other father, the other Babinski, the other Miss Spink and Miss Forceball, and the mice. I thought the songs are very cool. And I thought the soundtrack is very nice. And I thought the special effects are very amazing. I thought the visuals are very nice. I also thought the editing is very amazing. And also I thought the script and the dialogue is very cool. And also the cinematography was very nice. And also the structure was very cool. I thought the pacing is very nice. I thought Steaming is very enthusiastic. I also thought the settings and locations are very nice. I also thought CGI was very cool. And I also like all the dark and jump scares in it. And also, no. Oh, and also, I thought the animation is very nice, and also I thought the writing in the film was, I also thought the direction of the film was very nice, and also thought the background was very cool. As well, the climax battle, the ending was so iconic and so classic. It was amazing. Finally, the ending of the movie was so nostalgic. So I really like this movie. So that's why it gets a solid 10 out of 10. An A+. So thank you guys for joining my movie review of Coraline from 2009. And don't forget to like and comment and share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye everyone. See you soon. Until next time.